Courage to love.
Benny's snack time. Deep in the heart of Whispering Woods, where tall oak trees wore counts of moss and sunlight danced in patches on the forest floor, there stood a warm, inviting den at the foot of a grassy hill. This was the home of the bear family. In this family lived a little bear whose love for snacks was as big as his round tummy. His name was Benny. Benny had fluffy, honey-colored fur and bright, curious eyes that shone like blackberries at the very mention of a tasty treat. Every evening, as the setting sun turned the sky into a canvas of orange and purple, the cozy den became the happiest place for snack time. Mama Bear would bring out wonderful creations onto that large, warm wooden table: honey cakes that smelled of summer flowers, muffins bursting with juicy wild berries, or crunchy biscuits full of acorns and hazelnuts. Whenever the delicious scent filled the air, Benny was always the first to come rushing. He would scramble onto his chair, his eyes immediately finding the biggest, most perfect-looking piece, and his paw would dart out to claim it. "I need this one, and the biggest." "Or I saw it first," he would say, his voice loud and sure. His little brother, Leo, who was smaller and quieter, might sometimes look longingly at a piece with an extra swirl of jam, but say nothing. Their friends, who often came to visit Squeaky the squirrel from the old oak tree, and Prickles the hedgehog from under the garden hedge, would often arrive to find only the smaller pieces left, or sometimes just crumbs. Benny never noticed this. He would happily munch away, his cheeks full, thinking this was simply how things were. The quickest and boldest got the best reward. Everything changed one drizzly Saturday afternoon. They had all spent the morning helping to tidy the cluttered back corner of the den. Mama Bear, grateful for the help, had made a special treat: a magnificent hazelnut honey tart. It was golden and glistening, with swirls of sweet honey and sprinkled with perfectly crunchy crushed hazelnuts. It looked like a treasure. But because she had used the last of the wild honey, the tart was a bit smaller than usual, just enough for one piece each. When Mama placed the beautiful tart on the table, Benny's paw shot out instantly. He grabbed the largest slice, the one with the most honey pooling in the center and the thickest layer of nuts. "I moved the heaviest box," he declared, taking a huge, satisfied bite. 3 pieces remained. Mama Bear smiled and gently took one. Little Leo, after a moment, carefully picked up the smallest piece, his eyes wide. Then, only one beautiful piece of tart sat alone on the plate. But at the table, Squeaky and Prickles were still waiting patiently. Squeaky had been passing justice all morning with his quick paws. Prickles had carefully rolled in the freshest daisies from the garden to brighten the table. They both looked at the single piece, then at each other. Neither moved. A quietness settled over the room, much deeper than the gentle pattering of rain outside. Squeaky's usually bushy, twitchy tail went completely still, lying flat on the chair. Prickles seemed to shrink a little into his spines, making himself small. They didn't complain or argue. They just sat, watching Benny enjoy his giant slice, then glancing at the lonely piece on the plate. The silence felt heavier to Benny than any loud noise ever had. The delicious hazelnut tart in his mouth suddenly tasted a bit plain. Mama Bear didn't scold or tell Benny he was wrong. Instead, she placed a soft paw on his shoulder and said in her calm, warm voice, "Benny, why don't you be the snack helper today? Look at our table and decide how to share that last piece fairly." Benny was surprised. He looked up at Mama, then his gaze slowly traveled around the table. For the very first time during snack time, he really saw his friends. He saw that Squeaky's bright, eager eyes were now looking down sadly at his empty paws. He noticed Prickles studying the wood grain of the table as if it were the most interesting thing in the world, trying not to look at the tart. He saw Leo nibbling his tiny piece very slowly, stealing the tiniest glances at the remaining treat, but not saying a word. A funny, uncomfortable feeling squeezed in Benny's chest, like he'd swallowed a prickly seed. He suddenly understood that the heavy quiet was filled with disappointment, and he was the one who had caused it. He stared at the last piece of tart. The honey shimmered. It looked big, but also not big enough for two. If he let one friend have it, the other would have none. That didn't feel right either. A new thought, fuzzy and unfamiliar, was waking up in his mind. Hesitantly, he reached out and pulled the plate closer. "Mama," he asked, his voice much smaller now, "may I please use the little knife?" Carefully, clumsily, he cut the piece of tart right down the middle. One half was neat, the other was a bit messy and had fewer nuts. Benny frowned. This still wasn't fair. He thought hard, his brow furrowed in concentration. Then, he had an idea. He picked up the bigger half and very carefully broke off the part of the crust that was drizzled with extra honey and nuts. He placed these delicious bits onto the smaller half. He moved a crumb here, a hazelnut piece there, back and forth, until both piles looked equally wonderful. Taking a deep breath, he pushed the plate gently toward the middle of the table, right between Squeaky and Prickles. This is for you to share, he said, his voice soft and a little shy. I'm sorry I didn't think before. You worked hard too. Squeaky's head snapped up, his ears twitching with surprise. The light rushed back into his big eyes. Prickles uncurled, his spine relaxing. They looked at each other and grinned. Thank you, Benny, Squeaky chirped. That's very kind, Prickles added in his gentle, raspy voice. They shared the piece happily. Then, Squeaky did something amazing. He broke off a small, honey-dipped piece of his share and offered it to Leo. Here, Leo, your piece was super small. Have some of ours. Leo's face broke into a wide, happy grin, his cheeks turning pink with joy. Wow, thanks. At that moment, the whole feeling in the den changed completely. The heavy, awkward silence vanished, melted away like mist in the morning sun. It was replaced by the warm, happy sounds of chatter and gentle munching. They talked and laughed as they finished their snacks. Squeaky told them about a bright blue butterfly he saw sheltering under a leaf from the rain. Prickles described a funny little tunnel where 3 beetles were having a race. Leo made everyone laugh by imitating the way Papa Bear snored when he napped. Benny ate his original, big piece of tart. It was still delicious, but the taste wasn't the most important thing anymore. The most important thing was the sound of his brother's giggles and the sight of his friends' smiling faces. The prickly, uncomfortable feeling in his chest was gone, replaced by a warm, glowing, fizzy feeling like bubbles of happiness were filling him up. This new happiness felt much bigger than the old feeling of getting the biggest piece all to himself. Long after the last crumb was gone, no one wanted to leave. They all snuggled together on the big, soft rug by the den's entrance, watching the raindrops drip from the leafy eaves, making tiny, shimmering waterfalls. Benny patted his full tummy, listening to the comfortable chatter of his family and friends, and he understood something deep in his heart, something true and important. The very best part of snack time wasn't the honey or the nuts or having the most. The very best part was the warm, happy buzz that filled the room when everyone felt cared for and included. When you took turns and shared fairly, it was like a special kind of magic. The joy didn't get smaller, it multiplied, spreading from person to person until it filled up the whole den and made every heart feel light and warm. Sharing, Benny realized with a contented sigh, was the secret ingredient that made everything better, and it was a secret he decided he wanted to use every single day.